Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we will be talking about Love Island UK Season 11, Episode 1.
Listen here, man. Welcome to everybody who's new watching us. This is my wife, Blair. I am the husband, Chris. She's the one that gives us the recap. I am the review part of it, to where I give my opinions. And hopefully you like us. Subscribe, like, share, comment, all the above. Blair, you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's go.
Okay, so we're first going to start and go over the cast, and then we'll get into the episode.
Okay.
So we've got Samantha Kinney.
Mm-hmm.
She is 26 from Liverpool, and she's a makeup artist.
Okay.
We've got Nicole Samuel, 24, from Aberdare, accounts manager.
Okay.
Patsy Field, 29, from Orpington, and she's an office administrator.
Okay.
Jess White, 25, from Stockport, retail manager.
Mm-hmm.
Mimii Ngulube, 24, Portsmouth, mental health nurse.
Listen here, I'm trying not to show my favoritism. Okay, but Mimii is already number one in my eyes already.
Harriet Blackmore, 24, from Brighton. She's a dancer and a personal shopper.
Okay.
We've got Ayo Odukoya, 25, from Canning Town. And he's a model.
Listen, I'm trying not to show my favoritism again, okay? But he's number one in my eyes, too. You get what I'm saying?
We've got Ronnie Vent, 27, from Southeast London, semi-professional footballer.
Mm-hmm.
Sean Stone, 24, from Hertford, sweet salesman.
Yeah.
Munveer Jabal, 30, from Surbiton, Surrey, and he is a recruitment manager.
Yeah.
Then we've got Kieran Davies, 21, from South Wales, and he is a surveyor. And we also have Sam Taylor, 23, from Chesterfield. He is a hairstylist.
Already, just off of the names and the little that we know about them already, who caught your eye? What are you thinking so far, just on the cast overall, as someone who watched the show before?
Okay, well, obviously, Ayo and Mimii caught my eyes.
Oh my! Are we really gonna be that black couple that roots for the black people?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
right.
they caught my eyes at first, and I was like, oh wow, they're both beautiful.
Yeah.
And then usually with this show, so I've seen probably like one or two other seasons before, so I'm somewhat familiar, but I don't know everything. And I was like, usually the black couples pair up when they get on these shows, because the other couples or other people don't typically want to pair up with them. So I was like, okay, I think that they're going to pair up. But yeah, that's really who caught my eyes.
Yeah, it was actually, of course, them two. Munveer caught my eyes just off the strength of how I don't want to say overconfident he is, but when he talks, he definitely feels like he is a catch, or he is the catch,
right? Or
as people would like to say, he is the table, you know. And Patsy catch my eye because she's talkative too, and she's tall. Yeah, you get what I'm saying. So let's get into basically some things about the episode, Blair.
Okay, so everyone, is getting comfortable, getting to know each other.
Yeah.
We learned some of their biggest icks, and Mimi's was boys that follow boys, pretty much trying to impress the other guys.
Yeah.
One girl didn't like mama's boys, and another guy didn't like when girls like film their food. He's like, just eat it.
And I think there was another girl that like someone who don't drink water and things like that. So it was interesting. It was interesting.
Yeah. So our host Maya arrives.
Yeah.
She is going to let us know the first game of the season.
Okay.
So this is a game of first impressions where the women and the men have to rate each other pretty much from most boyfriend or girlfriend potential to the least.
Okay.
So the ladies are the first ones to come together to rate the boys.
Okay.
So they choose Munveer as most likely boyfriend-like.
Number one, Munveer. Okay.
And at the bottom, they have Kieran. And that was more so because he was elusive about his relationship with his ex. They couldn't really get a good read on him. But the guys in the middle were happy about their spots. They're like, not too high, not too low. Like, we're probably right where we need to be.
Yeah, I find it very interesting that he is last just off the strength of what the women said about, hey, you kind of elusive. Mind you, this is not about who looks the best, but I kind of find it that they kind of use that also as well as boyfriend and girlfriend material too. Like, which one which one do I think looks the most beautiful, as well as someone that is boyfriend girlfriend material? So I find it very interesting that Mimii, which I kind of thought that would be in the top 3 at least, but he was number 1.
Yeah. So then the boys, it is their turn to rate the ladies, and Mimii is chosen for most likely to be a good girlfriend.
Good choice.
Harriet was the least, and they said, well, your last relationship was 4 months ago, and she was saying, well, it didn't work out for a reason, y'all. And then they said, and also some girls like to party too much. That some girl was Samantha.
Wow.
Samantha seemed irritated. I think she flicked the guys off as well. Jess was happy about her place being somewhat in the middle. Usually her personality can be intimidating, and she was glad that it wasn't in this situation.
Yeah.
And Patsy wasn't too happy. She said she's not average. She doesn't usually need to be in the middle because she stands out.
Well, no, you're average. That's why you're in the middle. The thing I find it very interesting about Harriet is that the guys was like, you was in a relationship 4 months ago. I think from a guy perspective, they went from who looks the hottest to the least.
Really?
And yes. Like guys don't care about boyfriend girlfriend material game. Which one do we think is the best good looking? And we went from best to worst, right? And Harriet, it also, based off what we got so far, she seemed kind of boring. So that's why I think the guy was like, yeah, it's not a lot of personality. Mimii is someone that I would like to get to know. She seems beautiful and things like that. So it's just like, I think Harriet's kind of like a red flag to them just off of first time impression and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
So they find out that instead of doing the normal selections this season, they are going to be coupled off based off of their ratings.
Wow.
So the people at the bottom, the folks in the middle, and the two at the top, y'all are together.
Now, here's the funny thing about it, right? Usually I was like, because I'm asking my wife while we watching the show. I said, "Oh, do they get to pick it?" She was like, "Yeah." And that's when the host was like, "Y'all already picked."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, they gotta be one, gotta be with one, two, gotta be with two." And this kind of put a damper on my plan for Mimii and Ayo to be together.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh man," because I knew Ayo was going to pick Mimii.
Yeah.
I just knew it. But let's keep going. Let's keep going.
So we check in with each couple to see how they are feeling about their coupling. Mimii and Mimii are pretty much happy to get to know each other. So they're looking forward to that.
Politeness.
Right, polite. Nicole and Sean just comes right out and says that she's not his usual type, but he's open to getting to know her. And it's just like, ooh. Even the host was like, or maybe it was Nicole, I couldn't remember, who was just like, you did not have to say that. Then we've got Jess and Ronnie, and they both feel good about it. Jess feels like they both have good personalities, so it'll be a fun time.
I think Ronnie is a sleeper, right? Because Ronnie got kind of like the good boy looks, as in like he seems quiet. He's not ugly, but he just seems very
like chill.
Yeah, like very chill, very laid back. And I think he may be the sleeper. I think Mimii, even though he may have all the attributes physically, he may be an F-boy. Because he feels like, because even with the conversation he had with Mimii coming up, he was like, basically like, hey, don't be upset when I leave you and go talk to other women. So I think he smells himself a little too much. To where Ronnie, he plays back, and he's kind of a mystery that I think a lot of women will want to get to know.
Okay.
That's my opinion about Ronnie.
So Patsy and Ayo, all I really wrote down is they looked uncomfortable. They weren't standing close to each other. They both were just like, yeah, we can get to know each other. But I thought she was really like not happy. That's what I thought when I first saw her. So I was surprised as we further on and hear everyone's conversations to hear what she actually says. But it looked like there was just like no hope.
The only thing I thought was tall. Yeah. You know, tall. Okay, cool.
So Samantha and Sam, she's not a fan of his mullet. And he says that she looks gorgeous.
Do you see the difference of personality right there?
Yes.
She over there automatically went to something that she could criticize. I think she gonna be the one that's gonna be alone.
Okay.
I think she gonna be the one voted off the island because no one will want to be paired with her. And he just kept it like PC. He just like, she's gorgeous. Yeah. You know?
Then we've got Harriet and Kieran, the bottom two. He thinks she's beautiful. Harriet says he's her type. So far, so good with them.
So far, so good.
And of course, we know, or at least we're revealed that the last couple standing by the end of this gets 50,000 pounds.
Okay. Question, Blair, as someone who watched the show before, right?
Right.
Is there any such thing as a couple coming together saying, like, let's just win the money and not it being for love?
Not that I've seen. Again, I haven't seen all the seasons. Not that I've seen, but there have been couples who paired off pretty quickly and kind of stayed the course throughout the show because they had that strong of a connection. Yeah.
Okay.
So, Kieran and Harriet have a discussion. She was annoyed to be at the bottom.
Oh my goodness.
He's just saying that he just keeps his cards close to his chest.
Yeah.
She does fancy Kieran, so she thinks it worked well for both of them. And then they just have like little conversation, getting to know each other about their favorite colors, stuff like that.
Yeah, just something simple. I think it was something across the lines of, guess my favorite color. And she said blue, and he said, yeah, blue is my favorite color. And then it was something to where I think she said she hates purple. Or something
he guessed purple, and she was like, "Oh, that's not my favorite. I hate that color."
Yeah, you already start off wrong. And unfortunately, even though y'all hated, or she most likely, she's the one that hated being voted on the bottom the least. It just seemed like y'all don't have enough personality. So far, y'all match each other's speed so far, just off of this first impression. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Then we go to Manveer and Mimii. He's asking her what her type is, and she says like tall, brunette, athletic. And she talks about who her top guys are, and they're Manveer and Ayo. And Manveer says, well, yeah, I'm tall. I'm 6 feet. He says that he's not going to be disrespectful, but they're in an environment to get to know each other and also get to know other people. So he just wants to throw that out there while he's also looking around at the other women. I'm like, you're saying that to her, but like you're not even engaged in the conversation, really.
No.
And she just said she's cool with that. Her only concern is she doesn't want him to snore at night. And I think it's because Mimii is just like, I'm not really into you. So it really doesn't matter what you say.
Yeah.
I think Mimii already has her sights on who she likes.
Yeah, I think he already have his sights on testing multiple women. I don't think he's here to like one person.
No.
Right?
I think he's here for a good time, not a long time.
Even when she was like, that like she said she liked tall men and stuff like that, he tried to add a little inches to his height. You know, she said, say you're 6 feet, like, okay, I'm 6'1". No, you say you're 6 feet. I think it's like I said, he gives off as if like he feels himself a little too much. Maybe it's like him trying to use charm, but I'm going to keep my eye on Manveer. I'm not going to bad talk him yet.
I will. He seems very F boyish to me.
Goodness. Come on, buddy.
And he seems very arrogant. And I know sometimes people like say like, oh, confidence, arrogance, it's like right along the same lines. Like I think he's passed over that line of confidence to arrogance, because I kind of thought it was rude how he was talking to Mimii. Like I felt like he wasn't really giving her the time of day, even though he was trying to get to know her.
Yeah.
It's just like, you're not even giving her eye contact. So I was just like, you're just... I think you're just the worst. And I think that's going to end up playing him for the fool, because he thinks he's going to be so great that he can play all the women, and all of them are going to play him to the side, and he's going to be going home.
See, here's my thing. I didn't think that until I saw the contrast difference in how Ayo and Mimii was talking.
Right.
It's very night and day of how Mimii and Manveer was talking.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, I'm starting to feel things on the screen watching Mimii and Ayo talk, But let's keep going.
So we get to Nicole and Sean.
Yeah.
Sean is trying to clean up what he was saying about Nicole not being his type.
Oh, man.
He was like, well, you're just not like my standard type. Like he normally goes for blonde, petite, strong eyes. He's excited to be with her though, because it's something new. And he says he's not judging based off what she looks like. He says, I want to get to know you, like the real you. I want to go deep. And I'm just like, you really think this girl is unattractive? And that is crazy.
Listen,
because she is far from unattractive.
Listen, this man said, I want to go deep because I don't like what I see on the surface.
Exactly.
Like, it's just, he's trying to latch on to something. And it's usually guys that usually feel this way about girls who are not unattractive. It's like, hey, bro, you're not that, like, you cool. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But y'all on the same weight class.
I'm about to say, like, come on, you're not punching down. You get what I'm saying? It's like y'all are basically the same in my eyes, but who knows?
Yeah. So we see Patsy, Io, Samantha, and Sam. They are exploring the villa, picking out their beds. Yeah. Jess and Ronnie are chatting. They're happy that they're coupled up. He thought she was buff. That was his first impression.
Wow.
And I don't necessarily know if buff means like strong or buff like attractive. I don't know if that's like a UK slang. So maybe y'all UK people can teach us a new word. And they both joke about being bad dancers.
Yeah. Like I said, that's why I think Ronnie is a sleeper. Okay. Because he seems down to earth. He even sitting there talking to Jess. They both talking, and he basically said, "I can't dance," and she's like, well, "Look, I'm in the same boat with you." Yeah. And even him giving a little impression of how he danced, basically just giving a little little sway to the side, and she's laughing because that's the charm that's very different than I think Monveer. Right. I think Monveer is going to lean on his looks, on the things that aesthetic, and Ronnie, as long as you're not ugly, which I don't believe he is. I think Ronnie has more of the personality and charm to always be paired with someone in the house.
Right.
That he won't get voted off because people will end up falling for Ronnie, in my opinion.
Yeah, because they feel like they're actually getting to know him and that there's like a genuine connection. Even if it may not be the strongest out of all the women, they might feel that connection to him because he's so real.
You're right.
So,
you're right.
So with Sam and Samantha, she still can't get over the fact that she and Harriet were at the bottom. Okay. And Sam was just like, we really didn't even know where to put people. Like, pretty much telling her, like, it's not that big a deal.
It's just a game. It's a game. It's a game.
We get to Io and Patsy, and Patsy shares that she shares a bed with her mom, that she recently moved back in with her mother. She has never been on any dating app. She prefers to meet people in real life, and Io feels the same way. And he misses the feeling of being in love with someone. Patsy says Io is really the only guy there that's her type. Yeah. Maybe Sam, but she goes for height. That's the main thing that she looks for. And she also shares she's not looking for kids anytime soon. He makes a joke like, yeah, your 20s are for fun. And she's like, I only got one more year.
Okay.
So
here's the thing. I think Patsy, she's cool. I don't dislike her. I can see how you can dislike her. Okay. Right? Because I feel like she talks a lot. And usually if you talk a lot, that's just more, that it's just more chances of you to put your foot in your mouth. Gotcha. But I think really her type really is Sam. Sam is the one with the mullet, right? Yeah. But I honestly feel like she has no problem with Io. Just off the height, aesthetically, they look good and cool like that. They do. So that's what, just off of height alone, So I'm like, I can see it for them, even though I'm not cheering for them. Okay. Dude, you get what I'm saying? Yeah. I can see it for them, but I'm not cheering for him.
Like, I hear what she says as far as, like, him being most equivalent to her type. Yeah. But I don't feel the connection or the spark in their conversation. That's true. It's like they're trying to get to know each other, but there's no actual like bond being built. And even while he's talking to her, I think if I'm remembering correctly, she was kind of looking over like the terrace.
She's peeking in between.
Yeah, she's looking over the terrace, kind of looking to see what everybody else is up to. And I don't know if that could be just like a camera thing, people being on TV for the first time, excited to take everything in, but it's like they weren't connecting.
Yeah, that's true.
So it is the first party of the summer. Everyone gets all dressed up and heads out to the outside. So Nicole pulls Samantha for a chat. Okay. And Samantha is saying that Sam is not her type. She is not feeling this man.
I'm not cutting my hair. Okay.
And she says Ronnie is her type, but he seems smitten with Jess. And Nicole is, I don't know what role she's playing, but she's pretty much like, I don't know about that. Go over there and get your man, girl.
Listen here.
You're bubbly. You're cute. Do you?
I don't know, man. Keep going, though.
Yeah. Well, Jess goes over to Ronnie to chat. She's asking him if he's happy with his choice, and he's happy they came together. He's telling her she looks good, and she's asking if he's a fast mover. But he's just like, I don't know what you're trying to get at. She's like, no, I'm not saying like right now, like to kiss me or nothing.
I think she's falling for Ronnie, man.
I think she is.
Because Ronnie is the type. Cause you have to think of it like this, right? In my opinion, when I think of someone who goes on the show, you're nervous. You got cameras everywhere if you're not used to it, I think Ronnie is the type of guy to kind of ease that anxiety.
Yeah.
Of making it seem like, I can't dance either.
Yeah.
You know what? You look beautiful. You get what I'm saying? And I think he's a sleeper. I think he's really a sleeper in that house.
I felt at this moment that Ronnie was starting to get annoyed with Jess.
You really?
Yeah. And maybe it's because I was starting to get annoyed with Jess.
Oh, my goodness.
And only because, like, okay, we had the conversation that we're happy to be paired together. So are you asking him now again for validation? Are you feeling uncertain?
A little insecurity.
Like you're kind of like pressing the issue of we're happy to be together, right? We're still happy to be together, right? And it's just kind of like, now I don't know. Maybe, but I don't know. So I was kind of looking like, just like pull it together a little bit. You know, you the prize girl.
And my thing is, I think Ronnie would be annoyed with Samantha.
Possibly.
Because Samantha annoys me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You didn't even get a chance to know this guy. You get what I'm saying? Like you, it's so funny. You're so quick to say what you don't like about somebody else, but you're not making yourself likable.
True.
No one has to comment on things that they like about you yet. Make yourself likable.
Yeah.
Because as we know how the game go, just because you paired off with them first doesn't mean you will stay paired with them. The whole point is to stay paired with somebody at the end of the show.
Yeah.
So I'm like, if you making yourself unlikable, then the guys go to talk amongst each other, like, yeah, that girl. Yeah. You know?
Yeah. And you don't want to be too mean to anybody.
Yeah.
And Samantha is starting to give off mean girl.
Yeah.
She's giving off that energy.
Facts.
Well, Io pulls Mimii for a chat.
This is the scene of the night for me.
And they talk about where they're from.
Yeah.
Her type is, cute, tall, confidence, likes good music. He says his type is pretty much just a pretty face, which she has. When he saw her, he wanted to know more about this beautiful girl. And she is like leaning in towards him. They're really vibing, feeling each other. And he's the type that she feels that she can would possibly date on the outside. Io says that, he pretty much only has eyes for her.
What are your thoughts watching this scene, Blair?
I was like, this is what a connection looks like.
Yeah.
This is what we tune in for. I was getting the butterflies and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so cute.
Oh my goodness.
The love is starting. It made me think about when we first got our love connection.
Oh, okay. So. We didn't end up on the show, guys. Okay. Okay.
What about you?
I was like, she's blushing a lot.
Yeah.
Like, even though she's leaning towards him, I felt like if the minute she locked eyes with him, it's over for her. And they look, I said to Blair, they compliment each other very good.
They do.
Because he's a handsome guy, but she makes him look like a lot better. And it just fits, in my opinion. This is my fear. I hope she don't disappoint him. And he don't disappoint her. Yeah. Right? I hope there's not a time to where they keep bringing people in, bringing other people in that they kind of stay together. It just feels, maybe I'm falling for the reality TV trap. It just feels right.
It feels like the stars are aligned.
It feels right.
Like, wow, this is great.
Right. This is what reality TV hoped for. Yeah. And they missed the mark every time. I feel like we got our couple. Yeah. We can do the reunion right now, actually. Okay. You get what I'm saying? Go ahead, Blair.
So Munver thinks Io and Mimii are connecting. He's talking to Patsy. I think he was talking to Patsy. And he just kind of feels like Mimii was just telling him what he wanted to hear. And I don't necessarily believe that. I think Mimii was talking and saying like, yeah, you are my type and things like that. But it was clear the connection wasn't there. Even Munver knew, because he couldn't even look at the girl while he was telling her he was going to talk to other people. So I hear what he's saying, but I think he's kind of downplaying his disinterest as well.
Yeah, I think he just come off as a guy that don't like to lose. So he's like the type of guy that be like, oh yeah, they pair together, but it is what it is. This kind of put Patsy in a bad situation, in my opinion. Because at least Io know there's two women that will, the one he paired with and the one that he's talking to now. Yeah. And the fact that Io is basically can pull her aside and they can be, the black couple so far of the show. I'm like, Monvia, why didn't you use this time to like get to know your girl more? Yeah. You get what I'm saying? But I think he's trying to sow a seed with everybody to keep himself safe. You get what I'm saying?
I agree. With Ronnie and Samantha. So Samantha is asking how he's getting on with Jess. He said, I pretty much had the same amount of chats with her with you. And I'm just like, I feel like you talk to her more or something. I don't know. But that's what he said. And then he ends up like hugging her, kissing her on the head. And he says that he would have chosen her if he had the choice. Samantha is really feeling Ronnie.
Listen here, Ronnie got that charm, man. He got that charm.
He's a little player
Oh, no, he's definitely, listen here, play the game. It's all a game. Keep going.
And next we've got Harriet and Kieran. They're chilling, cuddling by the fire pit. And they both feel like the vibe is good. And they looked... How do I put it? I didn't necessarily feel the same connection as Io and Mimii, but it seemed like they were comfortable with each other. So I guess my thing is like, because I didn't hear them talking a lot, so I was thinking like maybe it's just kind of like a physical connection,
just body language.
Yeah, just because they're all hugged up and everything. But in the communication, it didn't seem like like how y'all say like the banter and like stuff like that. Like I didn't see that type of connection, but they seem like they're getting comfortable.
See, my thing with them is be careful with them too. They may end up being together the whole time. Maybe. The losers of the group. You get what I'm saying? The buns at the bottom. And don't be so disappointed in where you're placed. Just be happy you're placed with somebody. Well. You get what I'm saying? And the fact that she got her person, she may actually learn to love this loser that she got as well, too. You get what I'm saying? Like, y'all both losers. Y'all both have y'all both have common similarity stories right here. We both was rated on the bottom. We was paired together. Now look at us. We're in love. Right. Just lean into it. You get what I'm saying? Don't be upset and feel some type of way about it. Prove people wrong. I'm not boring. Right. Harriet, Okay. It just is what it is.
So we get back to Io and Mimi's conversation. So Io thinks Mimi's personality like stood out as far as all the girls. Yeah. He was just curious to know what she was thinking, what's on her mind. She says it's the first day. She's just trying to kind of like assess the situation. Yeah. He's telling her that she looks amazing. Yeah. And he asks about, what would happen if we kissed. And she says it's the first night. He's like, but you wouldn't stop me. She said, I probably wouldn't stop you, but it's the first night. And he's talking about her lips are crazy.
Your lips are crazy.
Your lips are crazy, girl. And he's just trying to gauge where they're at.
What are your thoughts, Blair?
I like it so far. Io, he's kind of putting it on thick. The whole your lips are crazy would have had me been like, ugh.
Come on, stop it.
But I think it's cute for them. I see it for them.
The reason why he said that, she was blushing and giggling the whole time.
She was.
And truth be told, I feel like she wanted to kiss him, but mama didn't raise no hoe. Okay. You get what I'm saying? I have some class about myself. I'm not gonna kiss on the first night, but that's why he's basically gauging just to see like, your lips crazy. You know what I mean? Like, and then she just over there giggling, laughing to herself. But it's very the chemistry is there.
Yeah. The chemistry, and they're not even touching.
No. Yeah. No.
So the host returns. Yeah. They all gather around the fire pit. And Mimii and Manveer say, the spark hasn't happened quite yet, but it's still early days.
Sure.
Kieran and Harriet are saying things are going well. And then we are surprised with a new Islander, Joey Essex, 23. And apparently he is a big reality star or celebrity. I looked at some of the clips and he was on some other dating reality shows as well. Yeah. So a lot of the people know who he is. And it looked like there were some people whose minds were starting to shift about who they wanted to be with. So I'm interested to see tomorrow, because this show comes on every day.
Listen here.
So I'm interested to see tomorrow what we got going on.
Listen, as Blair said, people was very interested and knew who he was. Yeah. We are not those people. Yeah. Okay, so he got there, he feeling all good, he felt all that bravado coming off of him. He be like, look at you guys, y'all look sick, huh? You know what I mean? And the women over there looking at their partner like, Samantha already don't like her man, so she finding any reason to jump to another island. Right. You know what I mean? What are your thoughts so far, Blair? What is your hopes? What are your expectations so far just in episode 1?
I want to see Io and Mimii truly connect and have a deep, real connection. I really hope that they go the distance. I just think the connection just seems like I can feel it through the screen. Yeah. And then I hope other people their connections grow as well. But I'm just not seeing it for anybody right now, and that just makes for such a bad season if nobody's really you know, like connecting and stuff. But I do want to also see how Joey's going to shake up the house.
Yeah, me too.
So,
me too. I want to see how that social status, that, you know, that elitist type of thing works with a guy like Joey, someone that you already have an idea that you know him, but you don't. How easy conversation can you have with Joey compared to the person you was paired with?
But see, then it also makes me think, like, with him being like a form of a celebrity, what girls are going to want to get with him because of clout?
Of course. I think majority of them.
Yeah.
Except Mimii.
I see it for Samantha. I think she's going to set her eyes on Joey. Like, I'm going to get a whole different lifestyle messing with him.
So I'm very interested. Listen here. Join us back here tomorrow. We will be reviewing this show. We are also going to do the U.S. version. At least that's the conversation me and my wife had. We may not, it's still in the air, but we are doing UK.
Yeah, for sure, UK.
You're doing UK. Anything else, Blair?
That's all I got.
Y'all be good. We'll be back.
Bye.